Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be looking at an Advanced Wars by Web match played by me. And so this is an online site for Advanced Wars players, and this is basically it's all PvP, and you can play around the world. And this is one of those matches where I felt like I wanted to share, just because it wasn't fun, but it was kind of frustrating at times. But I think this is one of those matches where I felt like I did a pretty decent job coming back, and so I guess I just felt like I wanted to share it, and maybe even spread the word. Maybe you guys will be interested in playing this as well. So this map, unlike the original Advanced Wars games, Advanced Wars by Webs allows certain things to happen, terrain-wise, that the original game can't do. Has most of the has all the commanding officers from 1, 2, and Dual Strike, and it's pretty balanced. I think there are some things here and there that make the game unfair, but for the most part, it's a decent game that if you're an Advanced Wars fan, you can play this and you'll have a decent time with it. So here we have a match where I honestly thought it should be a pretty even fight. Standard map, standard match with standard codes. I'm Rachel against Max, and typically I don't do very well against Max users, especially if they're a really good player. I have a hard time countering Max's tanks and everything. Max has really strong offense, and he can push through most enemy forces without any trouble. However, I'm Rachel, and I have the day-to-day of recovering 3 HP on my properties, and that allows me to heal faster and get back to the battlefield. So as you'll see, I think that plays a little bit of a part, as well as it adds on to how different styles of gameplay will benefit each player. And so I'll just get started with the replay. This map was played on Black Patch War. It's a decent map. After playing it, this is, I think, the third time I've actually played this map. This is the first time I actually finished the match, though. The other matches, the person quit early. They just quit after losing 1 unit. So this is the first time I actually finished this map completely, and I just felt like I wanted to share it. So I'm pink, and then the Max player is the gray. So I'm not going to get into all the details, but second turn has infantry to start. It's called this infantry is first turn advantage infantry. So the second player gets this guy because first player gets territorial advantage by moving first. On maps like this, I can see standard maps, but I don't completely agree with everything that the infantry does, because sometimes this guy can play a huge part compared to having no units to start. But it's map dependent and code dependent as well. So in any case, so we get started, and he moves first. You'll see him gray out his units when he moves his first turn. Starts with infantry, simple. My turn. I move the infantry up. I want to immediately capture this neutral base as soon as possible, and I build infantry myself. So the beginning is always just a capture game. You want to get your guys out. So he's moving towards the base. He starts his capture, builds more infantry, and so on and so forth. And then and so I'm starting the capture. I go for the port. On my first turn, he went for the city. The reason why I wanted the port was so I could get these guys as soon as possible as well. Not sure how I did the order, if I did it right or not. To be honest, I'm not exactly a pro player, so I'm not sure how the order of things should go. But that's how I did it. So I continue to build infantry. For the most part, you'll only see infantry the first so many turns. So he's starting his capture on his base. He captures the other port. So mine's down here. The one that I'm capturing here is not being captured yet. Not sure, but I think me getting these properties plays a part in the overall game. So you'll see later what I mean. So again, just moving on, just building infantry, capturing. So I go for this city first. As you can see, he has not moved in first. I want to get to the middle, but at the same time I want to be cautious because basically by going in here I lose out down here. So as you can see, he went down towards his airport. I have not yet. So continue infantry capturing. Instead of going down, I sent this guy up to capture this city. So already I think I made a mistake by doing that, but at the same time it's not going to cost me. It's not like he has units that can kill me or stop me from capturing. So but he did build a recon, and it has a lot of range since there's a lot of roads here. And that's when I think I maybe should have sent this guy down instead first, but I didn't. So you'll see that it plays a part. Because I also built this infantry, in which I had 7,000 this turn, but by building this infantry I only go down to 6,000, and so I built another infantry there. If I built a tank here to retaliate, or recon, if I built a tank I would have no money to build a base here, and typical rule of thumb, especially with when you only have a couple bases available, is you don't want to base skip. And so, if I built a recon at least, then maybe I could counter him, but I didn't. So I built infantry, and he continues to move around. His recon's moving out, and the capture the game is a little slow in the beginning, but it is what it is. He builds out the first tank, and that's when I start to get a little worried, because once the tanks start rolling out, then it really gets into the strategic game. Again, I'm not the best player. This guy actually has played over 700 matches, I believe. I think it was this guy. So I pull out the black boat so I can get this guy over there. I wanted to get those cities as soon as possible. Now, some people may think that was a bad move, which, looking back, it was a bad move, I think, by my part, because now I don't have the money to defend myself. And as you can see, I also base skipped, and so that's one less unit I'll be putting out there compared to my opponent. But I did get a recon out to try and defend this area, because this recon's moving up, and if I try to capture, he'll stop me. So that's the idea right there. So he moves the recon up. He's not afraid. Again, max tanks, max direct units are stronger than mine, so he's not afraid to put his recon in range of me. Tank moved to the center. This tank alone now blocks me, stops me from capturing these things. Obviously, on my turn, I'm going to capture this. He can't stop me, but now it's territorial, and his tank has the whole middle. I can't do anything after that. So again, I lose out. I sent that infantry in the middle, yes, to get a territorial advantage, but it doesn't really help me. And so you'll see that I pay for that later. So I move my recon down, hits his recon. Decent hit. I mean, he put his... I'm actually surprised he let me attack from the city. It gives me a little bit extra defense, but in the end, I kind of blundered. Say like this guy, I probably should have attacked with him, because now he's just going to get a free hit, and it plays a part in my infantry and recon surviving longer. But overall, it's not like it's horrible, because now that I got a tank coming out, and hopefully that will, drive him away. So again, tank rolls in, covers the middle. His recon elects to shoot my infantry, so I can't, do more captures. So that's an easy kill for me. And he's moving on in his capture game. By this point, he's winning the capture game. He has 14,000 to my 11. Pulls out 2 more tanks. And then it's my turn. Now I'm doing my captures here. I'm capturing the island over there in the corner. And I'm getting my infantry out from my HQ. Capture my airport. So right here, I actually chose to attack the recon with my recon instead of using the tank. Then I tried using the infantry. That didn't help. I probably should just use the tank, but I wanted to get the tank out into the middle to try and like support the middle, which at this point there was no point in doing that because I can't do anything, and this recon gets to live and still harass me. So it was a mistake on my part, but it is what it is. So as I move my tank there, I realized I can't actually cover these guys, and so he actually is going to get some free hits in the middle. So his turn now. Tank moves in and immediately just hits one of my infantry. Again, mistake on my part. So that's already right there. That's the biggest mistake right there. I let him have free hit, and this guy is dying. As you see, he did 2 damage. So I'm already at a disadvantage. Territorial wise, I can't do anything here. I can't capture the cities, nor can I attack him and stop him. His tanks are just too strong, and he has multiple tanks. I only have 1. So already, he's already taken the lead. He builds 2 more tanks. Max tanks hurt, and he knows that he has the advantage there. So my turn, I just try to, I try to get the south as much as I can after I screwed up. Recon kills his recon, but now my 3 infantry can't do anything, and so I'm at a disadvantage there. I try to surround the tank stupidly. That didn't work, obviously. So yeah, again, so his infantry could, his tank could just move up here and attack these guys if he want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so if he wanted, he could move up here. I could attack from the city, but I have to build a tank here and lose down here. So I don't remember what happened. Yeah, so I built a tank here as well as a battlecopter in the south, and I try to take defensive positioning. So again, I can't capture these cities, but he can't either until his tanks get in, which they'll come in next turn. So again, tank moved away, attacks this guy, free dude. I can't do anything to stop him, so again, that's twice that I just let my units get hit. And he likes to hit my infantry and almost kill him, but the damage has already been done. His infantry in the middle starts moving. He's got tank support, so it's not really looking good. He pulls out a battlecopter. Then we roll to my turn, and this is day 9 now. Yeah, he's totally taking advantage of the middle. I am not. I have wounded units. I've let my units die. So I just try my best to, hit as much of his infantry as I can, while still sending in some support tanks. And again, I'm capturing the island, so that'll help me get an income lead while I can't get these other properties fast enough. So I pull out anti-air to retaliate against his battlecopter, but at the same time, he's got multiple tanks. I only got 1 here, and 1 down there. The only benefit about this tank here is because I'm Rachel, even if he attacks me first, I can repair it, getting 3 HP on my next turn. And so, and with a defensive boost, I can, easily just retaliate, and it'll be a loss for him. But income or total value wise, it doesn't really help me. So I don't remember what happens, but again, I did it in the middle as well, thinking maybe he'll attack my tank. And all the while, I'm trying to still get my properties in the south. So I'm just moving, building my units. Battlecopter moves in. Again, I just let a guy die for free. And so his infantry continue to hound mine. Kills it, moves on to the city, so I can't take any territorial advantage with my tank. And now he's starting to capture the middle. He's capturing both properties at the same time. And with the amount of units I have right now, there is no way I can take it back. And I am at a huge disadvantage. He has units, he has the lead in units as well as the firepower to counter me. As you can see, like for every tank I have in the middle, he has 2, and that's not good for me. So He built a T-copter, obviously to try and get this island over here. And yeah, it's not looking so good. It's not looking good at all. I finished my captures, so I have a slight income lead on my next turn, but there's nothing I can really do. I try to move in, harass these infantry if I can, while protecting my anti-air so I can hit the battlecopter. Yeah, honestly, I just sacked a few infantry, just to stop the captures, but there's not much I can do. I could just sit here in the middle and wait for him to come to me. So he does get one of the cities in the middle, and he kills another one of my guys. Yeah, it's just not looking good for me. And he actually takes hits with his tanks. Honestly, was not expecting that, but he actually has a good army supporting, so he can do that. So that was, at this point, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I see this big clump of units just surrounding the center, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my units are all scattered up, down, middle. It's like, oh man, I'm in trouble. It's not looking good. I moved my recon to hit his infantry because I don't want him capturing these things down here, and if I can do damage to him, then that'll help. I chose to choose the road because it has less defense, and my recon's going to die, so that's the reason I chose that one. So I start to move in, try to capture as much as I can. Battlecopter gets a free hit. His battlecopter can't reach me, so that's good. Again, I take a shot at a tank, and I want to do as much damage as I can to these tanks, because if I were to tag team it, yeah, I could kill it, but then each tank will be damaged and he can easily just pick them off. So I wanted to hit as many tanks as I could. Right here, I attacked an infantry, hoping that maybe he'll back off, but again, I wasn't thinking straight. It wasn't really the greatest attack. And I moved my anti-air up so I can harass these infantry, keep them at bay, battlecopter too, but I'm praying that this battlecopter alone would, be swayed away from attacking, because my battlecopter is here to support. But again, it's max, so his direct units are stronger. I built a T-copter down here, thinking that maybe I can start capturing, because he sent his T-copter over to the right instead of going straight down. So I thought that was an interesting move. My thought process here was maybe if I can get my T-copter to fly and capture those properties, I can catch up in the capture game. Because right now, I have a lead until he starts capturing these other properties, which he is going to get this one, and he's getting this one. So that was my thought process. So tank kills my recon. He captures the 2 neutral cities, so we're even in captures. Attack on a city, and his tanks are just squashing me. So now my army is pretty much dead in the middle. I mean, he has a lot of infantry just hound. I mean, look, I just lost everything in the middle. So, and at this point, I'm second player. I am down 13 units. I am down by almost 30k value. It's really not looking so good. So, the first thing I thought to myself was, okay, I gotta change this game around. So, I do my captures at the bottom first, but after realizing what's happening, I quickly think, okay, if I get my super, maybe this can be diminished. So I sacrifice my battlecopter, boom, get my super, and I pop it. I fire 3 silos that do 3 damage each, and I did a whole bunch of damage in the middle. But even after all that damage, my value did not increase, or did not match his very well. He still has a pretty good lead on me. And again, even though I damaged all these units, I don't have anything to kill them with. So my only option is to retreat, and that's why I built these artilleries, so I could start doing a defensive wall. And yeah, it's really not looking too good. I'm stuck to the outside. My units are sporadic. And so I think medium tank. Gotta get a big guy out there. Nothing here can kill it. So I think that's where I got the edge. And so, you know, even though all his units are damaged, he still has the numbers as well as the, you know, he has the value lead once his turn comes around again. So he retreats. He regroups his units. That's why the error came up. So again, he's trying to capture my properties. Trying to do as much damage as he can. All these damaged units, while it doesn't help that he can attack me, he can use them as walls and, you know, support his own other units that were hit and get them recovered. But all the while, I can't actually do anything. So it's not looking. I mean, it still looks very scary. It's got a big clump, and even if like I have to use infantry to attack this guy, and you know these other weak ones that I shouldn't be attacking because I want to hit his stronger units, but they're just in the way. So I roll my T-Copter out here, and I'm praying that he will. I can get to the island. I made the mistake because this anti-air currently is out of range. However, he does pop his power on the next turn, and max's power gives him a movement boost. There goes one full powered infantry and a T-Copter, and so I lost 6,000 value right there for nothing. And yeah, so here I still move up. I want to protect my artillery as much as possible. Nothing here can kill my units in one shot, even his tanks. Surprisingly though, because he does pop his power, this tank could have blasted through here and he could have hit my artillery, but he elected not to, I think. So I just keep moving. Want to make sure my units are protected by the artilleries. Can't really do much. So, in my turn, I have the value lead still, but 7 units less. Still not looking so good for me. He's starting to capture my cities. So he uses max force, blows up my T-Copter. Now his T-Copter is getting ready to go capture his properties on the island, and I was thinking the whole time, if he gets those, it's gonna be game over for me. So yeah, so I had to try and do something quickly to not die. But yeah, this whole time I'm just thinking, oh man, I'm gonna get overwhelmed. There's just too many units, too many walls to break through. So again, he's just building up his walls, clumping his units together. And look at all those weak infantry, they're just in the way. And all while, like, see, tank killed another infantry, just a free guy to kill. I can't do anything about it. So I roll in, try to do as much damage as I can. Gotta protect this city at all costs. I even sacrifice an infantry to do so. Yeah, so I gotta keep this battlecopter alive. This will help a lot. And my artillery's moving a little bit for a wall. But otherwise, you know, I put my infantry here down on the south just so he can't get an easy capture as well. And I'm starting to move my black boat. I want to move it down since I just realized that instead of sitting here, I can send it all the way around, and I could actually block one of these pathways if possible. So that's what the idea behind that is. So he starts moving in. Again, he's uncontested here. I can't do anything to fight back. So I left myself open for that. And he wants to hit as many of my units as he can, just knocking them all down. Even with his weakness, he's just hammering them hard. I can't really do anything about it. All the while, his units that got hit by the silos are repairing, and now he has a few battlecopters to support. And battlecopters against medium tanks, while one isn't necessarily dangerous, multiple with max tanks hurts. And so I'm like, well, that's not good for me. So now he's taking the value lead, still has the unit lead, and you know, I'm still struggling. Down here, I have nothing to stop him from capturing. So my medium tank gotta stop these guys at all costs, and I keep building my wall of infantry here. So again, I sack the infantry, stop his capture for 1 turn. Again, I'm trying to get my units together, trying to get all my forces to clump up so I can push back. And then this leads to me building another artillery, because I feel like if I could control right here, then I can pull this game back, you know, and push him backwards instead of having him stomp over me. So again, his T-copter goes, infantry is going to start capturing the next turn. He kills another one of my infantry. Battlecopters are all now in support position. He controls the south as well, so I'm just struggling to find a little bit light. I honestly didn't play right away. I needed to think about my moves. All the while, he's just spamming more units. So now he's got this massive wall of dead infantry that I can't use my own infantry to destroy them. And so the only way would be with my tanks. And so I'm like, well, shoot. What do I do now? I don't have the units to fight. And if I try to use my tanks first, all these tanks are going to hit me. And if I attack into it first, he's going to get his power. And he's going to stomp me. And so I'm like, what do I do now? I may have the value lead, but, you know, what can I do? So I just try to keep up my wall. I continue to move my units forward. And now I have 3 medium tanks. And all supported with artillery. So I'm hoping with these units, as you can see I didn't move very much. Hopefully with these units I can push him back. Because the only units that he has that can stop me right now are the battlecopters. And that is where I'm like, okay, I have a chance, possibly, to push him back. So he moves in. More battlecopters coming into the center. More of his units are just forming a wall. He builds a Neo tank, and that Neo tank alone will destroy all of my tanks. I can't attack him with my medium tanks. If I do, here I'll show you a damage calculator. Let's just say it's on we're both on planes. If I attack first, I'm only going to do 4 damage to him. His retaliation will do 5 damage, and he'll be a 6. So I can't attack first, and unless I'm attacking with 2 medium tanks, which isn't even all that great because the chances of that happening are unlikely. So I gotta hit with an artillery or something, and right now it's not looking so good. So once that Neo tank gets in, I'm screwed. So I decided on this turn that while that Neo tank is over there, I have to push him. I have to attack him before he gets there and try and get my super again. Because if I could hit all these units with silos, I could probably change this game all the way in my favor 100%. So I decide to push. I decided to move all my units up, all my artilleries, all my medium tanks, battlecopters. All the while, he only has 1 anti-air here, and if I could protect my battlecopters from it, that would be a big help. So I'm not worried about his copters as much as gotta protect mine from that anti-air. So I just keep pushing, send all of my units in, everyone's going in, medium tanks doing damage. Nothing here can stop my medium tanks. So I just form my own giant wall with artilleries as support. So as you can see, this one shoots all of these, and then this one protects here. The only thing you can do is try to attack from, you know, sacrifice some battlecopters and tank to attack my medium tanks, but I don't think that would have been a good idea. So I got a nice wall-to-wall going, but with this I think I have the lead. And all the while my black boat's still coming. His turn rolls in. Neo tank's moving in. It's starting to capture my city at the bottom, as well as getting his island cities. So now he's taking the capture lead. And so basically he uses his tanks to attack mine. Still got a big clump. He activates the max force, and again, anti-air kills my battlecopter. His battlecopter moves in, hits my tank, uses his tank to attack my medium tank. See, that's a good hit because you know, even though it's on a shoal, I don't know, you know, he it's a max tank attacking and it hurts a lot. So replay value, replayer broke, so I'm gonna just move back into that. Attacks, tanks, max tanks hurt, even though I'm a city. 2 shots me. Again, just moving in, destroying, hitting as many of my units as it can. The helicopters surprisingly retreated, and yeah, they're out of my range of anti-air, but they didn't actually do anything this turn for him. So that was a plus. I was actually surprised, and he's protecting them as much as he can. He builds a medium tank, more infantry out, and I'm literally a smidge away from my super. It's yeah, 400 funds. I am 400 funds away from my super, and I thought to myself, alright, this is it. I think I could win it with this. So, if you were to use the move planner, which helps you plan out your moves ahead of time, the missiles all shoot here. And while that does not help me kill these units in the center, I already have the units in the middle to take care of those guys. So by hitting these guys, I already have the edge. So I use artillery to attack the anti-air to get my super, and I pop it. All these units got hit, and so now I'm going to go to work and finish off the units in the middle. Artillery hits a tank. Artillery hits another tank. I move out of the way. Weak medium tank destroys one. Weak tanks match. Actually, the calculation said that I wouldn't, but it did. I killed that guy. Medium tank hits another tank. Kills his tank. Kills his infantry. I'm just moving up, trying to kill as much as I can. Battlecopter is totally protected, can't be killed. He has nothing to stop me now that his other battlecopters are all weakened. And yeah, I just keep going to work. Now I'm starting to capture his properties in the middle. So it's all in my favor now. All of my units are getting things done. Now I have the big clump in the middle that can't be unfazed. Yeah, so, and he just popped his power, so he didn't get co-power from that. And now he's in trouble. So yeah, he captured my city, capturing the other city, but at this point, it doesn't matter to me because I'm already destroying his units. He can't stop me from fighting. And so as you can see, he's trying to stop me from capturing the city. All of his units are damaged. The only thing he has now is some weak units and his Neo tank. So no matter what he does now at this point, it's kind of like, it's in my favor. I've already won. At this point, after that turn, I thought, it's game over. I have it in the bag, right? Even though he has the Neo tank still and a 9 medium tank, I have way too many units, and I have my own Neo tank now coming. So it's just, and my artilleries too. Max, he can't fire the same distance with artilleries, and I think that's what changes this game around. My artilleries, even though I leave them open, kind of like this guy, you know, they can be very effective, especially against vehicles, and that's kind of the game changer here. Now my battlecopter moves over here, can't be attacked by any of his units, in which I'm going to kill this guy too. So it's all in my favor. He's got nothing, and I'm going to start trying to capture his cities too. Put some pressure on him, killing his infantry. Now, see, now all of his weak infantry, they don't matter because my full powered infantry are there. And so I just keep moving up. All the while my wall is pretty strong. Black boat's finally here. Repaired my medium tank. His turn rolls around. Again, he has the capture lead, but it doesn't matter at this point because I have the value and unit lead now. Uses his max force. One-shots my medium tank right in the middle. But, you know, and he destroys an artillery too. But at the same time, I'm not too worried because, you know, all of his other units are weak. He doesn't have too many other things to fight with. Sacking a bunch of guys to stop my captures. And so his turn ends. He builds more tanks. My turn rolls in and destroy that. Medium tank will attack his medium tank. Artillery here, attack the tank down there. This tank rolls in, kills it. Battlecopter moves in, hits the medium tank. Infantry moves in to attack that tank. Just want to do as much damage while still keeping a wall. Destroy. Infantry moves in, blocks, and destroys. Gotta make sure my artilleries are protected. This guy, I decide he can't do anything here, so I'm gonna move down and stop these two guys from doing anything. And then this guy will move up to get into position to attack. And then anti-air here, black boat here. He can't get through here. It's totally blocked. My black boat did its job. Is exactly what I wanted, to block the path here, or I can even next turn move it here. So his vehicles can't just, you know, roll in through and attack me. I got a lucky hit there. Actually, I was surprised that killed him. And then my Neo tank moves onto the city and now it's also defended by the artillery as well. So I just build a few more tanks. And he resigned on this turn. So in the end, I killed 39 units to... Well, built 39... Lost 30... No. I don't remember what this is. Yeah, I killed 39 units, and I lost 30. Yeah. So I killed 39 units, and I lost 30. As you can see, you know, the overall stats, my value was less. So I did lose a lot. I honestly did. But fighting Max, it's pretty scary because his tanks are so dangerous. And when I was being pushed back right here in the middle, I was really terrified that I was going to lose. I really did think I was going to lose. But it came around. Building a few artilleries helps. And yeah, basically I turned the game around because these medium tanks, I'm not a big fan of medium tanks. I hate medium tanks. I rather just build Neo tanks. They're stronger, they move farther. But I think these two guys, or these two type of units, they came in handy this match. It's one of those matches where I think I did the right play. And in the end, I won. So I'm happy with this match. I'm actually very happy that I came back and won. Or I forced him to resign. But as we can see down here, I think I was going to win anyways. And I have another super coming. And let's just say I had it this turn. If we go to the move planner here, and we use my Rachel's superpower, let's just say I got it this turn. Again, I would hit some units here. This is a bad spot, but whatever. And I will hit his Neo. My guys are all unhit, undamaged. I could easily just stomp on top of him. And so, in the end, it was a fun match for the comeback, and I'm happy that I was able to do that. For the most part, I've lost to almost all the maxes I've ever played. But Rachel is one of my favorite commanding officers. She's literally top 3. And so I know how to use her. I know, what's best for repairs and stuff like that. At least I would think so. So overall, it was a decent match. The map itself, it's okay. The different avenues with the shoals causes a lot of chaos, but in the end, I came back and I won. Very proud of myself. It was a very good comeback match for me. I know maybe you guys think it wasn't a comeback, but it definitely looked like I was losing my edge here once he pushed me back to this property right here. But again, I think me having these two in the corner early definitely helped me stay in the game. Because had I not gotten those two, that's 2,000 less income every single turn. But in the end, who knows what would happen. The black boat that I built could have been a tank and it would have changed the game. But, who's to say? Because one of my tanks is a lot weaker than his tanks. Don't know if it would have even helped in the end, but regardless, it worked out for me, and I think that really helped. And not to mention, the black belt did come back around and help support. So yeah, so that's that. If you guys like this video, if you guys like what I did here, you know, maybe we could do more stuff like this. I do like playing Advance Wars, even though I do complain a lot about it. There's a lot of RNG. That's what this damage calculator is for. I mean, the difference between Max's Neo Tank, me attacking it, you know, and dealing 4 to 5 damage in retaliation. Most of the time, when it comes to me, it'll end up with the 5. It'll always round up, and that really pisses me off because I get really frustrated about that. I don't think it should work that way, but it does. And so, you know, luck plays a lot into Advanced Wars, and I always have horrible luck, whether if it's in real life or video games. That's just me. My luck is absolute trash. So, you know, sometimes I have to just rely on RNG, and I think in some cases a little bit came in handy, but you know, I think this match I just played my cards right, and you know, it worked out in the end. So in any case, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Maybe I'll do more if I get more matches that are pretty close, so we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.